foot of my tripod, but oh well. Um, did a horizontal live yesterday. Won't be doing that again anytime soon. I think it'll film the whole thing sideways. Let's get our lighting in. I do not want to retouch. I want lighting. There we go. How's everybody doing today? This is going to be a short one because I have my other on his way home and will be home in about a half an hour. So we will be doing short today, but my birds are absolute chaos because of the same reason I just said. So I do apologize for that. We might have to go settle them a little bit. I don't know why I'm quite this loud today. But, will it help? Yeah, will it help? Brian Gibbers are quiet bees. That is a personal favorite thing. See if that settles everybody down a bit. Alright, let's try that again. At least if it had to happen, it happened before anybody came in. And this is yet another one of my handy dandy coloring books. And this one is Tattoo Ideas. I personally would not on me, but I am a huge Sugar Skull fan. Hello, Haley. How are we doing today? I think they're just beautiful artwork. So, figure we might as well color one in, right? I know my hand's right in the middle of the picture at the moment, but that will change very shortly. I just have 3 of these, and 2, and 1. I am doing very well. I'm enjoying my last day at home by myself for about a month because my partner is on his way home, which always makes me happy. And I am a huge fan of coloring. This one is probably going to be a short one. And if I stop abruptly, you know why. Hello, VJ. How you doing today? So you know what? We're going to go ahead and use this for these as well. This is not my art personally. It is actually a coloring book. This one is meant to be tattoos, but I just happen to be a big fan of Sugar Skulls. And we are on the first day of October, so a little bit spooky is perfectly along the right lines, right? This is an interesting place to proclaim that, wild man. I do not, I'm, cool flex, I guess. I will never understand that whole need, but I guess if that's what makes your day go by better. I love love this type of artwork. And I did also choose this because it isn't going to be a super crazy long live today. I have plans this afternoon that involve my partner coming home after being away for about a month. So I'm very excited for that. Probably the biggest part is her hair, which we're going to do a couple of different layers of color because I never met anyone whose hair was all one perfect color. Unless they did like a really, really lazy dye job. Or they had bright colors. But natural hair usually has highlights and lowlights and different tones. Okay, Big Bear, I am deleting that comment. Any more like that, and I will have to block you out of the room. This is not a made for kids room, but I am kid friendly. So we don't need any kind of information like that. It's amazing the things people will do to get attention these days. That is not information anybody but your significant other or partner needs to know. But I love this type of artwork, and as I said, I think being the very beginning of spooky season, I think it's suiting. So we're not going to go crazy spooky with her, but we're not going to go try and make her look like a normal person either. Welcome back, Haley. I'm not crazy engaged in the chat. I do kind of peek down periodically, but it is almost impossible to color and watch the chat at the same time. So if it takes me a minute to notice anything, please don't take it personally. That's just kind of the way it works. It's not anything meant against anybody. I'm not ignoring you. I just cannot look in two directions at the same time. If I could, I would definitely use it to do all kinds of mischievous things, but unfortunately I cannot. So I hope everybody is well today. I am relaxing and keeping an eye on my dog, who made a huge mistake and ate a wasp this afternoon. He did get a dose of Benadryl, and we're just keeping an eye on him. Pets are a thing. They are a handful. But he does seem to be okay, so I'm not panicking too hard. It has been a day of weird things from the pets. One of the kittens just marched her little butt right up to me and chomped my foot this morning. And it's just been that kind of vibe all day today. So we're just going with it. We're not gonna... You can't have as many pets as I do and expect a normal, boring day. They just don't happen that way. But I wouldn't trade my life for anything. It is pure chaos on any given day. But it's not boring. And, you know, if the worst thing I get is a bite from a very tiny kitten that hasn't quite reached a pound yet, I guess we're doing all right, right? I'm going to go gray with this. I see that you keep, I don't know how it pushes the said hi thing, but I do see you. I do appreciate you being here. I will catch what you say as you say it eventually. I'm just not able to sit and stare at the chat in color because what you see here and what I see here, there's a depth difference because my camera has this much space between the picture and the camera. So I can't color through the camera, so I cannot watch the chat the entire time. But I do check, so I do see you. Hello, Peyton. How you doing today? And sometimes I happen to be looking as somebody pops up, which lets me say hi right away, but that is pretty much sheer luck. I am just going through and using this gray on some of the stuff that is shaded. I think we're going to make her roses two-toned. We're going to do pink and I think blue, because why not? I have actually been given blue roses once, and I absolutely loved them. And I noticed I did miss just a bit of hair there. I think the coolest thing that I've ever gotten flowers-wise was actually my current boyfriend's doing for our first anniversary. He got me rainbow roses, which I have never seen anything quite like them. They were the coolest things, in my opinion. And he had seen me looking at them and went out of his way to go figure out how to get his hands on them for me. And stuff like that, that sticks with you. There we go. I don't have the patience to color rainbow roses though, so she's going to get pink and blue. As I said, this isn't going to be a super long one. Just a nice, quick, easy, short one. That's why I didn't choose a big one of my more elaborate pictures. Because I've picked some that I did for, I sat here for like 40 minutes to an hour. I simply don't have that kind of time to work with today. I'm aiming for just shy of a half an hour. And we're about halfway through that time frame. A little bit more than halfway through the picture, so we're doing good. Just need a nice pretty orange for this. Kind of like the sunflower on her chin. That's kind of a neat idea. There we go. I love the look of a sugar skull, but personally, even though this is a book of tattoos, I don't think this is one that I would want. Nothing wrong with it, just not my speed. I definitely have no issue with tattoos themselves. I have a couple, they're just not quite this tight. So I'm just looking for a little hint of this. I've never seen someone paint their ears when they do a sugar skull. It's usually natural tones on the ears. This is the only place they do the color. And I think we're going to take a little bit of creative license. And just really softly add just a suggestion of pink at the side here. Just a little bit peeking out from behind her hair. And I think we're going to do just a very light suggestion of it there as well. Just because there's not a ton to color on the face itself. And I think I am going to make the lips just a touch more pink. Because that red is just reading a little too orangey for my liking. There we go. So let's add just a little bit more color to the hair. And then we're going to call it a day. I just want to darken that up just a little bit in some of these lighter spots. Bring that little bit more depth to it. And we've almost hit the 20-minute mark, which is probably about where I was aiming for, so I am not complaining at all. This picture is turned out rather pretty. Taken about the amount of time I wanted it to take. And been fun, so I appreciate that. I like when things work the way I need them to. My poor dog, he is just pitiful over there. He's not swollen bad, he's not showing any real signs of distress, he's just got a little bit of a fluffy nose and it looks very sad. Which if you weren't in earlier, he ate a wasp. Excuse me. But before he ate the wasp, he squished it with his nose. So he took the brunt of the sting on his nose rather than in his mouth. So now he is Benadrylled and crated so I can keep an eye on him. Because 110 to 120 pounds of upset dog is a lot to handle. But we have reached the end of this picture. I will be back on tomorrow. I'll do something a little bit longer. And I will get a long form up as well. But for today, I'm going to call her good. And I will talk to you guys next time.